What's happening, YouTube? This video is going to be about 2008 and Peyton Manning getting the MVP over Drew Brees, which was crazy. Now, Peyton Manning did have a 12-4 record, 27 touchdowns, and 4,000 yards passing. However, Drew Brees brought the New Orleans Saints to 500, and that was a pretty big freaking deal. Also, he threw for 5,000 yards, which was a huge deal. And then when I throw in the fact that the leading rusher for the Saints that year only had 625 yards, you kind of had to say that Drew Brees had a lot to do with not getting a lot, but still had the number one lead offense. Wouldn't that have counted for something? When you have special seasons in the NFL back then, they would tend to reward you, especially if you're a quarterback. It's kind of interesting. And that's basically they gave Peyton Manning an award based on merit and what have you. There's no rhyme or reason because the NFL, they recently tried to say the best record or they tried to say this. They make it up as they go along. We got our own ideas of how we look at a league MVP in the NFL, and they don't look at it the same. They never give it to a receiver ever. Running back, you got to do something really special. I mean, that just really the bias is obvious. But interestingly, a couple years after this award was given out, these two men would sell it on the field in a certain thing called a Super Bowl. And Drew Brees won. So, and he looked better than Peyton. Peyton had that one interception to Tracy Porter, as you remember, and that boring Who halftime show, which I still got a lot of good sleep on. But anyway, Drew Brees had done the thing stat wise. So, but they have their bias, they have their picks, they have their people that they like, and then they have their ways that they do things. And there's no denying it. If you've ever watched the NFL and you've been a fan, you're going to look back in hindsight and say, this person got this person got that. They've been very biased with what they do. They don't have any shame. They don't have any. And since they don't really do AFC NFC, do AFC NFC for the Super Bowl and they do AFC NFC for the Pro Bowl. Why don't you have multiple league MVP? Don't you have MVP? Never mind. I'm not gonna make common sense. But for Brees to come all the way from the AFC and to lead a New Orleans team at that time that was pretty sorry excuse, that was a heck of a statement. Because he had to double up on yards because they had no running game. And to be 500 too, it was heck of impressive. I've seen it happen. It can happen. It should have happened. It didn't happen. But he got the bigger revenge against Peyton Manning, as I said, in the Super Bowl. And when we look at what Peyton Manning has played with throughout his career, he's always been stacked. He doesn't play with a team that doesn't have it either on both sides of the ball. So it's not like he hasn't had a plethora of talent that has surrounded him, that has protected him. Even though he was arguably, you could say, one of the two or three greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen in a regular season. Because if we just do regular season, he is one of the greatest I ever for what he could do stat wise and all that. Now, postseason, that's a whole nother matter. And that's the unfortunate sometimes when you look at someone's totality of their career, what you're going by. But this here was a injustice that Breeze didn't get that MVP because he really did the thing with a lot less to work with. And let me tell you something. If Peyton Manning had to work with what Drew Brees had to work with at that comparable times, Peyton Manning may not have made as half as he did. Just saying. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit that membership because when you do requests like this come true, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free, stay true. I'm out one time. Peace.